Good morning. Day 8 of my Larapinta yo-yo. Had a very comfortable night at Ormiston Gorge at the shelter last night. I'm heading out now. I've been walking about half an hour. It's just getting light. I'm heading out towards, Finke shelter first. It'll either be Redbank or Rocky Bar Gap tonight, I reckon. We'll see how we go. I'm thinking probably Redbank, but it's a 35k day, I think, so that might change if it gets too hot. All good. Been walking about half an hour, and it's about, I think it's almost 7 now. All right, I'll catch you when it gets a bit lighter, I suppose. So I'm just winding through the foothills this morning over to Finke. I have got a hill climb, kind of in the middle of the day, after I pass over Davenport Creek. I'm gonna go to a Hilltop lookout. So, and that's a solid climb. But anyway, we'll deal with that when we get to it. It's the only big climb of the day, that one. I don't think it's going to be particularly hot today. The time will tell, I suppose. So, sun's just about to hit me, I think. I'm climbing up a view. I think it's called Ormiston Lookout, or Ormiston View or something. Oh, Sonda's definitely getting closer. So that's Ormiston Gorge. This is Ormiston Lookout. Not ideal at sunrise. So Ormiston's over there. That's where I've come from this morning. That's where I'm heading. It's the Finke River down there. Get closer. Get over the ridge here. So that line of trees in the valley, I don't know if it's coming up too well. That's the Finke River. My next camp's down there, or my next tank too. And that gap there is Glen Helen Gorge over there. So that's the Finke River down there. I'll swing up to the right somewhere to the shelter. I can't see it. It's still a couple of k's away, so it must be up there somewhere in the trees. There's Mount Sonda in the distance again. It'll be in the distance all the time now for the next couple of days. Well, not so much distance. Hopefully I'll be on top of it tomorrow morning. Okay, just leaving the Finke River hut, which is there behind me. There's a couple of guys there, so I didn't film. This is the river down here, There's enough water in there for a bit of a paddle. So I'm heading for Hilltop Lookout now and then down to Rocky Bar. So I've got a bit of a walk. I've got the Davenport River after this, or Davenport Creek, I think it is actually. So this is the Finke I'm crossing now. So it's pretty dry at the moment. I think the Finke indigenous called it the Salty River or something along those lines. If you look at the ground, you can see the salt. Needless to say, not great drinking. I've just topped up at that though, so there's no danger for me. But I think Davenport is okay to drink. There's normally a big waterhole there, although that could be pretty dry too. It's definitely a lot drier at this end of the range than it was close to Alice Springs. Start to dry out from like Hugh Gorge onwards. So I'm at the track junction to Glen Helen. I'm heading to Rocky Bar Gap. Just come from Finke River. And there's the lodge down that way. And the gorge. It's a pity the lodge is closed because that was a really good side trip. It was another like an Ormiston Stanley where you could buy a feed. But yeah, it's been more or less closed. It opened for a year, I think, and then it closed. Luckily for me, it opened last time I walked, so Joanne and I headed in there. And we got a really nice meal. Had a swim in the gorge. They were excellent facilities, but then a few months later they closed up. They got issues with water, finding a water supply apparently. That's the story anyway. All right, I'm heading towards Davenport Creek now. The Rocky Bar Gap is my next water source. I've got a big hill between me and that. All right, let's get walking, I suppose. So this is old grazing country. When I first did the Larapinta, there was still cattle through here. Remember, I camped out at Davenport Creek and had cows all around the tent. Had to get up in the middle of the night and scare them away. I was worried about getting trampled to death. Mind you, that was a long time ago. Back in those days, there was no Finke shelter. It was a very rudimentary walk when it first opened. So I'm heading for those. I think that's Davenport Creek down in the valley there, and then that range is Hilltop Lookout and Camp up there, and there's Sonder. Pretty barren out here. Thankfully it's not super hot yet. And that breeze is very nice. So this is Davenport Creek. This is a fairly reliable waterhole, this one. As you can see, it's pretty massive even in this dry time. So it's easy enough to skirt around. This is the track across here. But it's easy enough to skirt upstream a bit and get around this waterhole if you don't want to get wet feet. Personally, I wanted to get wet feet. It's just absolutely beautiful. Cool water. So you have to skirt around up there so it's doable. But this is a mid-shins wade. It's very nice. Okay, well, I had a very nice little soak in Davenport Creek down there. Now it's back into the dry country though. I'm heading up this Hilltop lookout camp. So I've got a, I don't know, 360 metre climb, 400 metre climb maybe. We'll get up there for lunch, I guess. It's about 11 now. It'll be about 1 by the time I get up there, I reckon. All right. Time to stop waffling, I suppose, and get on with it. So that's my next climb. I'm not sure which spur I go up. I've never gone up from this side before, but I seem to remember it's fairly steep. So, something to look forward to in the midday heat. So I'm well and truly into the climb now. Good news is, it's been a little bit of shade. Not a lot, but enough. And there's a little bit of a breeze. This is nice. I swallowed a fly. So the climb goes on. I'm almost at the top now. So I'm up at Hilltop Lookout. That's obviously Mount Sonder. It's tomorrow's destination. I'm just having some lunch up here. There's a lot of campsites up here. There's even a couple of trees to sit under. So I'm dropping down to Rocky Bar Gap now. I'm pretty well, I'm not quite down. I'll refill some water bottles at Rocky Bar and then head over to Redbank at the end of the day. Probably get to Redbank around 6, I'm thinking. Maybe a bit later. But that's all right, I don't want to sit around too long. It's better to be walking rather than sitting around when it's kind of flies and it's a bit warm. Unless it's a really cool spot. But I don't think Redbank's, the shelter's really, I don't think it's got any big trees around it from memory. Although I didn't stay there last time I camped down the creek. Okay, so made it to Rocky Bar Gap. I'll stop in the shade in the gap for a bit. It's not super hot today, I reckon it's probably only low 20s. You just feel it when it's exposed, that's for sure. So yeah, the actual gap, Rocky Bar Gap's quite nice. A lot of trees, it's shaded. Most of the day you can get shade in there. The campsite though out this side's a bit dry and dusty. I believe they're throwing some camp furniture at it. Someone was telling me. So we'll have a look when we get there. So it looks like they've kind of glamped it up a little bit here at Rocky Bar. It's better than it was. Bit of sand down in the campsites. You got the tank over there. There's a toilet up here. And there's a picnic table, which is always welcome in the shade here. Donated by friends at the Larapinta Trail. That's very nice. All right, I'm about to set off for Redbank now. I'll probably get there around 6, I reckon. All right, it's a pretty easy walk though, but it's about 3:30 now. All right, I better get on with it. Late afternoon, into the sun. So that's the side of Mount Sonder. I passed through to the other side when I went through Rocky Bar. That little knob up there is a notable bit on the climb. We actually dropped down for a bit. I'll be doing that one in the dark in the morning if I'm going up for sunrise. And that's the plan. Jeez, it feels a bit wastelandish through here, doesn't it? Okay, made it to Redbank Shelter. That was a long day. I might spin the camera around and sign off before anyone else turns up in case someone comes in. So I've come in from Ormiston today. It's 36.7 k's or something, so definitely a solid day. The plan is, and it's about 300 metres climbing low. That climbing will probably go up once it runs through the software, I reckon, once I get online. So tomorrow I'm going to get up at about 3:30 and climb that mountain behind me there. So hopefully get up the top around sunrise. We'll see how we go. All right, there's not much more to say today. It was a pretty cruisy day, just long. The only hard bit was the climb over that Hilltop lookout. That's a fairly solid climb, goes up to over 1,000 metres, just over 1,000 metres. All right, I'll catch you in the morning, maybe when the sun comes up. Take it easy.